to show off what comes in the guitar kit VW049. This is a solid body style guitar kit with two single coil pickups, a preloaded pick guard, and a short scale neck. So first, as we get into the body, it's routed for two pickups. It comes with the two single coil pickups in the pick guard, and it's wired to the switch already. This is a nice one because as we look at the rest of the control panel, there's only a couple wiring connections to make. This is an alder body, pre-drilled. One thing to point out, under the bridge, sometimes, as I mentioned in a couple other videos, this spot right here, it looks like a gouge. That can be concerning when you first get your guitar kit. But what that is actually is a hole drilled for your ground wire. Comes out right there in the control cavity. So it's just drilled at a very steep angle, so it looks like a gouge. Your bridge will cover that up, so there's no issues with the cosmetics of the guitar. The neck, as I mentioned, is a short scale. It's a 24-inch scale guitar. So it actually measures 12 inches from the 12th fret to the nut, making it a 24-inch scale neck. This is a maple neck, single piece with a maple fretboard, which is a separate piece. I mean single piece neck in that there's no scarf joint here. It's all one piece of wood on the back, another piece of maple for the fretboard. There's no binding on this, but it does have some nice fret markers already laid in. It has a dual action truss rod pre-installed, so you can adjust the neck in any angle that needs to be adjusted. And it's got black fret markers. This is a paddle style 6-in-line headstock, so this can be shaped to whatever style, whatever shape you want. If you want to imitate some famous brands, you can do that. If you want to create your own shape, that's cool too, whatever you want to do. And it's ready to be bolted in. One thing I note on all of our guitar kits, if you've watched a few of these videos, you've heard this already. There's a number on the neck and a number on the body. And the reason for that is these are all matched right at the factory. A bolt-in neck is never going to be quite as snug as a set neck guitar kit, but as I slide this in, and I'm just going to hold it in place firm with my thumb, there's very little gap. It's shaped, it's matched right at the factory to be a good snug fit. Another thing to note on the body, while we have most of our holes pre-drilled for the guitar kits, we don't drill the holes for the pick guard, and we do that on purpose. This is not a very standard shape pick guard. You're not going to just go down to your local guitar shop and find one of these. So the reason for that is if you want to change the pickup configuration, maybe you want to add another cavity here, maybe you want to change it to a clear material or a wood, or people do leather or aluminum. We've seen all sorts of awesome things done with these pick guards. It's going to be really hard to match this shape and match the mounting holes for another pick guard that you might find or might create for yourself. So if you're using this pick guard or any others, drill a small pilot hole on all the pickup mounting screws. The screws come with it, and then you'll be good to go. If you decide to go with a different pick guard, different material, whatever you might do, you can drill those holes and not try to match what we do at the factory that way. So it's one extra step, but we feel like it adds a lot more flexibility to your build. As we dig into the hardware, we have a output cable as well as two Allen wrenches. One's for the neck truss rod and the other is for the bridge saddle adjustments. We have the control panel. This is a single volume, single tone, and an output jack. So when you think about this, two single coils, three-way switch, volume, tone, output, it's set up actually a lot like a Fender Telecaster, other than the angle and maybe the style of pickups. But the controls and configurations are very similar to that. As I mentioned, there's very few connections to make on this guitar kit. The output jack is already wired here, and this is for your ground wire that goes through that hole and goes out there. And then we have a ground wire and a hot wire to come off of your switch. So really there's these two wires to solder to the switch, and then this gets fed through and gets sandwiched under the bridge, and that's it. So if you're new to soldering, if soldering makes you nervous, If you are having somebody help you that has more experience soldering and you don't want to take too much of their time, that's the nice aspect of this kit is it's very quick to solder. Once your soldering iron is hot, you'll be done soldering in 2 minutes. Comes with these tuners, 6 inline tuners, similar to a Stratocaster or a Telecaster style guitar. These are average quality tuners. It might be similar to what you'd find on like a Squier or an Epiphone. They're standard sizes, so they can be upgraded relatively easily if you choose to do so, but they will hold your strings in tune. A bag of hardware, we have tuner bushings and set screws. We have 4 screws for the neck. We have pickguard screws, bridge screws, string tees, and strap knobs all included in there. In this bag, we have all of our guitar kits come with a set of strings. These aren't a fancy name brand style of strings. What I recommend is these are great to set up your guitar. If you're playing with the truss rod adjustment, if you're playing with a bridge adjustment, as you're working on all that and your strings are going under tension and loose, might as well use something like this. And then once you've got it dialed in, put your favorite strings on. A neck plate and plastic plate for the neck mounting. And then we have the bridge. So this is a fixed style. There's no tremolo arm like you'd find on a Stratocaster, but fixed, 5 screws secured into place, and each individual adjustable saddle, both height and distance to dial in the intonation. As I mentioned, this is a short scale kit, which means it's a little bit smaller. People like short scale kits for various reasons. They're also good for kids with small hands because all the frets are just that much closer together by just a bit. So this is the VW049 guitar kit available from Vibeworks Guitars.